Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we're going to be covering the second studio release from Leon Bridges entitled Good Thing. This album came out on May 4th. May the Force be with you. Following up his very well done and well produced and well written album, Coming Home. This came out in 2015. This was his debut album, which immediately caught my ears and attention from the title track release, which featured on an Apple iPhone 6 commercial, and that's where I first heard of Leon. I looked into the rest of that album that he initially put out, and I was just blown away with how he was embarking on this sound from the mid 1950s, trying to emulate Otis Redding and Sam Cooke's kind of style of R&B and soul, and he did put a lot of his own kind of take on that kind of sound and style, and I was immediately captivated with what he was going for. Some of the hit tracks I'd recommend checking out for Leon Bridges if you've never heard of him before would be Smooth Sailing, Flowers, and River. I believe that these three songs do a good job of showing off the different kind of instrumentation that Leon uses and is able to sing over top of, and he's able to use a full band at some points where he has a drummer, a guitarist, a bassist, and he'll have some backup singers at times, and in other songs he might slow it down and get rid of the full live band kind of feel and more just go with almost an a cappella kind of form of a song. And with that, he's been able to dabble in different kind of styles and different kind of forms of songs. Born in Fort Worth, Texas, I now believe that Leon is living in the Atlanta, Georgia area of the States. A lot of his fans do come from the southern states, and he's now signed to Columbia Records. He signed there in 2014, and his debut album has gone certified gold with the Recording Industry of America. And since his initial debut release, he has expanded upon his collaborative efforts with Nick Waterhouse. Huge fan for Nick Waterhouse. I also recommend checking out him for an R&B soul kind of artist. And he has also written a song with Macklemore called Kevin. I believe that was on Macklemore and Ryan Lewis's second studio release. So yeah, that's my kind of history with Leon before going into this album. 2018 has found Bridges fusing an older African-American rooted soul and R&B sound with a newer contemporary pop-leaning song structure and instrumentation use. We can see that with Good Thing. Pharrell Williams has been a big influence on Leon. We can tell with the first song, Bet Ain't Worth the Hand, that he is trying to expand on his vocal delivery range. He dabbles in some falsettos throughout this record. With the first song, it does go really well. He shows off his ability to sing falsettos, and it's just a great opening track. You get some nice twinkling glockenspiel instrumentation there at the beginning. Immediately puts you in this dreamlike state that when I put this record on late at night when I first heard it, it was dreamy, and yes, it was sleep inducing, and that's not to say it's a bad thing. Most of the time when you do listen to albums that want to put you to sleep, it's like, wow, you don't really want to listen to that. But this song was a great way to start off the record. The second song on this album, entitled Bad Bad News, has got to be one of the best songs I've heard this year so far, so I highly recommend checking that out. It focuses more on social commentary for the Black community, and it does a great job at explaining that. I'm just going to read out some of the lyrics from the first verse here. Ain't got no riches, ain't got no money that runs long, but I got a heart that's strong and a love that's tall. Ain't got no name, ain't got no fancy education, but I can see right through a powdered face on a painted fool. So what Leon is saying here is, regardless of what his education status is, regardless of how much money he has, he's able to point out who in society is a painted fool and who are the ones that are maybe manipulating him, maybe not allowing him to reach his full potential in society. And the pre-chorus goes into saying that he wants to slip through. Why are you trying to hold me back? I'm just trying to move up front. A little more of this, a little less of that. He's tired of being in the back. He's just trying to move up to the front. And the chorus then goes on to say that they tell me I was born to lose, but I made a good thing out of bad news. And I feel this is perfect commentary for the situation in the United States right now, with so many problems going around with racism. And Leon is trying to connect with that kind of audience of the Black community and trying to say, well, regardless of what's going on, all you can really do is make a good thing out of bad news. And he's going about this in a very mature way, and I very much appreciate what he's doing with this. In addition to the great lyrical content, Bad News does have a very compelling groove. I have to say it's probably one of the best bass lines I've heard in a while, since Dark Necessities by Red Hot Chili Peppers, also a great song with great bass. But yeah, Bad News is a great song to check out if you're looking for a great groove and a great song that is just very well produced all around. Towards the end of the song, we get a nice breakdown that allows for a very soulful guitar solo. And even though the song does have a very simple melodic structure, and it does get a little bit repetitive, but it just captures my attention the entire runtime. Beyond is the fourth track off of Good Thing. This song does suffer quite a bit from its lackluster lyrical content. It's very cliched and very stock, conventional lyrics for falling in love with a girl. Other than that, it does have nice minimal guitar strumming throughout the track. It does feature falsetto vocals very nicely, and getting into the bridge, the oh me oh my parts are very catchy and very indulging at that. Forgive You is the next song off of Good Thing, and it has to be one of my personal favorites. It's just very refreshing and very introspective song that fills its entire recording space with a nice wall of sound. It has a pop song feel. It is a love song. It's focused more on forgiving someone for their mistakes, regardless of whether or not you can be with that person. It has nice, faint, introspective guitar lines that are sprinkled throughout the entire track. And all around, it's just one of the ones that I keep hitting on repeat, and I just want to hear more and more of it when I play it. Lions, I would say, is the most experimental of the tracks on Good Thing. It does feature a nice keyboard. At times it makes me feel like I'm listening to Childish Gambino's Sober. Let me know if you can pick up on that. I don't know if I'm just hearing things or not, but yeah, the song features some nice slides on the bass guitar neck, and by the end of the track you can hear Leon's voice being altered with this very watery and very experimental vocal effect in the studio that they're adding to it. Not too big of a fan of this, but I do admire the fact that Leon is trying to step out of his comfort zone and switching up his style. After Lions, we get another great track. If it feels good, then it must be. Definitely influenced by Pharrell for his pop song structure and falsetto use. From the get-go, we see some bells being sprinkled in on the offbeats that contrast well to the drums that are being used. It's very much an enthralling listen. I highly recommend checking out this song as well. The only thing I don't like about it is how the dynamics stay very static all the way throughout. It's very hard to know when you're transitioning from a verse to a chorus or a chorus to the bridge, but I do admire how the bridge showcases the falsetto vocals and string guitar, just that they're able to support each other very well, all while keeping the bass line the exact same. You Don't Know is probably my least favorite track off this album. It features very painful falsetto use in the chorus, also synthetic, very monotonous drumming that doesn't really mix it up at all throughout any part of the track. And by the time you get to the bridge, they start using these reverbs and echo effects on the voice that I'm just not a big fan of. The next track is entitled Misses. I'd have to say that this song is very evocative for its lyrical content. It talks about being skin to skin with a lover before you know that you're getting under the skin of that person. It's very vivid language that he's using, and I have to say that this is one of the standout tracks of the album as well. The other thing I want to mention about Misses is the fact that Leon switches up the dynamics, and now he has the verses actually be louder than the chorus. I think this is a very interesting way to get the audience to listen more closely to the verses about the quarrels of the lovers in the song, and then by the time that the chorus rolls around, we know that the lovers are being very intimate with each other, and it's just a nice touch to the writing of this song. The closing track on Good Thing is entitled Georgia to Texas. This is very much a tribute to Leon's mom. He did this same kind of thing on his debut album, but this time round he's focusing more on what his mom went through when she was moving from Georgia to Texas in order to raise Leon. It's a very intimate way to end this album. It's very lively, very intriguing to listen to and hear what Leon has to say about his mom. The beginning of this song sounds like it's featuring an upright bass. It just has a very nice, warm rattling and clatter of the strings that I do very much enjoy. It also features drums that are able to add in some nice fills on offbeats, and also using some rim shots and using other cymbals that we haven't been hearing throughout the rest of the record. It's a very nice touch to have in the closing track as well. And we also get to hear a beautiful saxophone solo. I very much do enjoy this last song. It's a great way to wrap up this record. So overall, for Leon Bridges' second studio release, I have to say this is one of my favorite records of 2018 so far, and I extremely recommend for you guys to check this out. I'm feeling a 9 out of 10 on this record, and I definitely hope to see it as one of the top albums of 2018 for sure. Some of my favorite tracks will be listed below down in the description. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Tell me what you think I should review next. Give me any suggestions for my presentation, and leave a like if you like, subscribe if you want to, and as always, have a rocking day. Thanks for watching.
Great.